you're supposed to pay it.
Now, on that same subject, let's say in the divorce decree it says, or when you division of assets, this person's credit card, upon divorce, they owe 50% of their credit card debt because you split liabilities and assets, right? What happens if that person does? Well, A, doesn't have the money to pay it, and they don't have any way to create money, like refinance a home or whatever the case is, and now they're both stuck on the debt, and then the person that's 50% liable can't get approved for a credit card to separate it because they have bad credit. What happens? I mean, does one person get screwed? The person that has a good credit that.
If it's a joint debt and they're both, that creditor, Bank of America, Visa, whatever it is, isn't going to let either one of those people off the hook.
Yeah.
So there isn't a solution that's easy, because you can't bring them back for contempt. Contempt is not available to enforce debt payment.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Contempt is only available for enforcement of alimony or child support. So the court won't find a person in contempt for not paying that Visa bill. You can file a motion for enforcement to enforce them paying the debt, but it's not contempt.
I see.
So it's kind of like a slap on the wrist. Okay, I didn't pay. Why didn't you pay? Can you pay? And if the person legitimately has nothing, well, then it's a difficult situation. So debt. So tip for everyone out there: make sure you're aware of your spouse's debt.
Yeah.
Make sure that if you're in a happy marriage, to keep your marriage happy, and make sure you're aware of all of the assets and debts. I have so many people come to me, women most commonly, and they are in the dark financially. They have no idea what debts are out there, no idea what assets are out there. I have spouses that realize that there's credit card debt that they didn't know about when they're going through a divorce, and it's a really sad situation because it doesn't matter that you didn't know, it still happened during the marriage, and if it happens from the date you guys got married until the date the divorce is filed, that's marital, and it's like a joint ownership. And
what about the marital home itself? Like same fact pattern, but now we're talking about a mortgage, which is a bigger debt. Let's say the husband moves out, the wife moves in, just randomly, or that's how it works out on the divorce decree.
The wife stays, the husband moves
Yeah,
out.
because the kids or whatever, and the wife later on can't get refinanced,
the husband's name.
So I mean, what would happen?
The husband's hands are going to be tied. He's not going to be able to obtain other financing for another property. So the best the court can do while the divorce is going through in process prior to decision is require the other spouse to apply to refinance.
Sure.
For once a year, and show proof of efforts at refinancing.
Sure.
But there are people that are in positions that they just cannot refinance. They either because of their debt to income ratio, negative equity in the house. That's not as big of a problem anymore now.
At the moment, yeah.
But it's a big issue, and so sometimes folks have to sell the home and in order to then relieve that credit. Sometimes they have to come to the table with money to then eliminate the debt. Or come to an agreement as to, okay, well, you can continue to live there for 2 years as long as you maintain the mortgage payment. But if you miss 2 mortgage payments, then you immediately have to list the house for sale. So there are ways that I can, as a divorce lawyer, attempt to mitigate the situation.
Yeah.
But it's very challenging when you have income issues, credit issues, or equity issues.
Yeah, which is often.
It's common.
It's common.